From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, Delaware State Police continue their investigation into an officer-involved shooting that resulted in the death of a 21-year-old in Dewey Beach. A fox tests positive for rabies in Rehoboth, and a Sussex County couple is over the moon after their late daughter's ashes were returned to them over the weekend after they lost it just last week. These stories and more on the way, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Good Monday afternoon, Delmarva. We've had a beautiful day across the region, even though it has been a little bit on the breezy side as well. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. We had warmer conditions on Saturday with sunny skies, a little bit cooler just yesterday on Sunday with temperatures struggling to get to 60 degrees. But now, this afternoon, taking a live look outside of our brand new weather cam here just outside of TV Delmarva Studios in Georgetown. We can see the blue skies. There's a couple of cumulus clouds far out into the distance and some nice comfortable temperatures too. Currently 64 degrees in Georgetown. Taking a look at some satellite and radar, we have the area of high pressure in control over the eastern half of the United States, keeping those skies nice and clear. But we do have a developing storm system in areas of Texas and Oklahoma, which could be looking at a pretty significant tornado outbreak later on today that will transition over towards areas of Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana tomorrow. This is going to be the same storm system that's going to deliver us some rain chances going into the days on Wednesday and Thursday. Let's have a look at the temperatures elsewhere on Delmarva at this time. Currently 63 degrees in Salisbury, 62 for Ocean City, 62 as well for Pocomoke City, 64 for Easton and Centreville, and 63 degrees right now in Dover, Wilmington, and Newark at this hour. Take a look at some humidity indexes. We're starting to see some quite dry air filtering into the central portions of Delmarva with relative humidity values anywhere between about 30 and 35%. So it's a little bit extra dry out there, not quite into the enhanced fire danger risk that I like to call anywhere below 30%. Take a look at some sustained winds, generally from the north and west, anywhere between about 10 and 15 miles per hour. But we are seeing some wind gusts that are anywhere between about 20 and 25, like gusting right now here in Georgetown at 23, gusting to 20 in Salisbury, 23 for Easton, 25 for Centreville, 22 for Dover, and currently gusting to 25 up all the way up north in Newark. Now we got some rain chances going into the day on Wednesday and Thursday, and as well as a noticeable cool down towards this weekend. I'll have more details regarding that in just a little while.
Delaware State Police are continuing their investigation into an officer-involved shooting that resulted in the death of a 21-year-old in Dewey Beach. State troopers held a press conference Saturday afternoon where they gave us a rundown of what transpired.
We're offering our condolences to the family who lost their loved one today and all those who are involved in this incident. At approximately 1:17 a.m. this morning, officers with the Dewey Beach Police Department were notified by employees of the Starboard restaurant located at 2009 Coastal Highway of a male patron exiting the establishment with a gun. Officers attempted to contact the individual on the sidewalk out front of the restaurant, but he fled on foot southbound on Coastal Highway. Officers gave chase for approximately 3 blocks but lost sight of him. A search was conducted in the area by officers but were unsuccessful locating the subject. At approximately 2:23 a.m., Dewey Beach Police Department dispatch received a call from an employee at Starboard Restaurant advising the suspect had returned to the business and was located inside of a restricted-only employee area. 2 Dewey Beach police officers responded and located the male, who was now inside the outdoor tent area of the business. When officers attempted to contact the subject, he fled out of the business northbound on Coastal Highway before running westbound on Salisbury Street and into an alley off of Salisbury Street. At that time, pursuing officers located the male, and a single gunshot was fired by a 1.5-year veteran officer by the departmentally issued firearm. The details surrounding the shooting incident are still in the early stages of the investigation, and once information becomes available, they will be released. After the male was shot, he fled the area on foot. He was located unconscious with a single gunshot wound to the upper torso by responding officers behind a commercial building in the 2100 block of Coastal Highway. Also located at the scene was a handgun. Upon officers locating the male, they immediately began performing life-saving measures and called for EMS to respond. The male was transported by ambulance to BB Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. The Division of Forensic Science will be conducting an autopsy to determine the cause and manner of death. The male was identified as a 21-year-old male from Milford, Delaware. Additional information regarding the victim will be provided once proper notification has been made to his family. The Delaware State Police would like to thank the community for their patience as we conduct this investigation. We recognize this incident is alarming, and we assure you the community's safety remains a priority. We are asking anyone who may have witnessed this incident or has video surveillance footage to please contact Sergeant Stephen Yite with the Delaware State Police Homicide Unit by calling 302-741-2703. Information may also be provided by sending a private message to the Delaware State Police through Facebook. Also, by contacting Crime Stoppers at 1-800-847-3333.
Now, the investigation is ongoing at this time. We still do not know what led to the officer shooting the suspect. However, police did say that a handgun was found at the scene following the shooting. The Delaware Division of Public Health is advising Sussex County residents who live or spend time near the area of Bayard Avenue and Philadelphia Street in Rehoboth of a positive case of rabies in a fox. One individual, a non-Delaware resident, was potentially exposed to the fox in that neighborhood. The fox was tested for rabies, which returned positive results on Friday. The individual has since been contacted to begin post-rabies exposure treatment. Since January 1st, the start of this year, the Division of Public Health has performed rabies tests on 46 animals, 2 of which were confirmed to be rabid, which includes 1 raccoon and this fox. Anyone who thinks they may have been bitten, scratched, or encountered a fox in this area should immediately contact their healthcare provider or call the DPH rabies program at 302-744-4995. Well, we brought you news just last week of a Sussex County couple who lost their late daughter's ashes. We are excited to announce that over the weekend, the lost ashes were returned to the couple who reached out thanking us for our coverage, as the man who returned them saw our interview and found the bag that contained those ashes. Meanwhile, Republican candidate for Attorney General Chuck Welch has released a plan to combat violent crime in Delaware. Welch, a former Kent County judge and state rep, promises that within 30 days of being elected, that he will form an Attorney General's Urban Violence Task Force with the goal of reducing both long-term and short-term urban violence here in Delaware. The task force will consist of 3 components. First, investigation. Second, prosecution, and third, community-based research. We will sit down with Chuck tomorrow for a detailed interview on his new plan. Coming up, Delaware officials have announced the start of universal broadband construction here in Delaware. More details on the way. Don't go away. Governor John Carney and the state technology officials have announced $56 million in broadband infrastructure grants to begin making high-speed wired broadband connections available to every home here in Delaware. The award recipients, Comcast, Verizon, and Mediacom, are current state of Delaware service providers with existing broadband infrastructure that responded to a grant application that was released in October of last year. The 3 companies will extend their existing coverage areas to serve more than 11,600 Delaware homes and businesses which do not currently have access to high-speed wired broadband services. Over the next 36 months, Comcast, Verizon, and Mediacom will build out and extend current infrastructure to deliver fixed wireline internet access with transmission speeds that, at a minimum, provide 100 megabits per second. Construction is expected to begin sometime within the next few weeks. Well, it's looking like we're in store for mostly clear skies and cooler conditions tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
High pressure will remain in control during the overnight hours tonight into the day on Tuesday. We will see an increase in those clouds during your Tuesday, but we will see a little bit of an increase in those temperatures as well. We are monitoring a storm system in the southern plains to bring us some rain chances going into Wednesday and Thursday, and much cooler temperatures is expected during the second half of this coming weekend. How much colder are we talking? I'll let you know when we come back here on TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Well, this afternoon wasn't that bad at all, but we're going to be continuing with those somewhat nice conditions, especially going into the overnight hours tonight. Still going to be dealing with some mostly clear skies and some cooler temperatures too than it has been over the last couple of nights. Overnight lows 40 to 45 degrees, and we got some light southwest winds and only at about 5 miles per hour. Going into the futurecast of the rest of the overnight hours into today on Tuesday. This is 8 o'clock tonight. We still got plenty of clear skies, all thanks to an area of high pressure in place. Temperature still fairly mild in the mid and upper 50s, but by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the morning, our temperatures are beginning to drop down into the 40s. But if you look over towards the areas of Virginia, we're starting to see a little bit of some cloud cover that will be working in towards the morning hours going into Tuesday. 8 o'clock, we're waking up the temperatures in the low and mid 40s, but we're also going to be heavily increasing that cloud cover as well to partly cloudy and even some mostly cloudy skies at times. And then going into early afternoon hours, we're going to be looking at some even warmer temperatures getting well into the 60s, but we're still going to be looking at plenty of cloud cover here on the shore. And even going into the evening hours, temperatures will be dropping down into the lower 50s around 8 o'clock. Still have plenty of cloud cover, and that's really not much going to go anywhere, even going into the overnight hours tomorrow night, with temperatures still dropping down anywhere between about 45 and 48 degrees during the overnight hours. Take a look at the Tuesday forecast overall, though. We will be increasing those clouds throughout the day with some partly sunny to even some mostly cloudy skies at times. More mild conditions, 63 to 67 degrees. And the winds are going to be quite variable in nature at only at about 5 miles per hour. And being it's the spring equinox was just yesterday, we now begin allergy season, unfortunately, and it's coming off quite strong. Allergy index for tomorrow looking at some high conditions at a value about 8.9, and that's going to be your tree pollen, your juniper, your maple, and your elm. So if you're an allergy sufferer like myself, this is only the beginning, and just to make sure you take those precautions to help you at least get through the day going into Tuesday. Take a look at the marine conditions, beginning with the Atlantic for your Tuesday. Partly sunny skies, 58 degrees. Winds variable in nature, 5 to 10 miles per hour, with seas of 1 to 2 feet. Take a look at the Delaware Bay. We got partly sunny skies, 58 degrees. Winds variable, 5 to 10 miles per hour, with seas of less than 1 foot expected. And then the Chesapeake Bay, we got partly sunny skies, much warmer at 64 degrees. Winds lightly from the northeast at about 5 miles per hour, and you expect seas of around 1 foot there on the Chesapeake Bay. Now, going into the overnight hours, we're going to be looking at plenty of cloud cover, mostly cloudy skies, but temperatures are going to be nice and comfortable though. Overnight lows 45 to 48 degrees, and our winds are going to be switching to onshore from the east at about 5 miles per hour. Now, let's take a look at that extended outlook. Well, we do have some dry conditions going into Tuesday with partly sunny skies, but we will be introducing some more rain chances going into the later part of Wednesday into Thursday, all thanks to a storm system that's currently impacting areas of Texas. And temperatures are going to be quite nice going into Thursday, though, getting real close to that 70-degree mark. But going out to finish the week, going into the weekend, though, we're going to be looking at a cool down, 60 on Saturday with partly sunny skies, but dropping down into the lower 50s by Sunday. And those cooler conditions will be continuing even into next week.
Coming up, President Biden's Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson faces off with senators in the first day of her confirmation hearing. More straight ahead, don't go away. President Biden's Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson, faces off with senators in the first day of her confirmation hearing. With Democrats in control of the Senate and Jackson having received 3 GOP votes in the past, officials say she has a good chance of being nominated without too much hesitation. Jackson was a private attorney at 4 elite law firms and served as a federal district court judge for 8 years. 3 Republicans voted for her in the past to be confirmed to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. They include Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Susan Collins of Maine, and Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. If confirmed, Ketanji Brown Jackson would be the first African-American female nominated and elected to the Supreme Court.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson we will be talking about evapotranspiration. Now, evapotranspiration is the combination of evaporation from the land's surface plus transpiration from plants. Now, let's break it down to what each process does in the first place. Evaporation, of course, is the chemical process of the sun evaporating liquid water to a gas known as water vapor from the water on the land's surface. Now, transpiration is very similar to evaporation, but plants will also release water vapor from its leaves, taking the moisture and nutrients from the plant's roots and releasing water vapor as the ending process. In the warmer months of the year, evapotranspiration can affect the weather conditions surrounding rural locations with large crop fields. Transpiration rates will vary widely depending on the weather conditions such as temperature, humidity, sunlight availability, intensity, precipitation, soil type, etc., etc. During dry periods, transpiration can contribute to the loss of moisture in the upper soil zone, which can have an effect on vegetation and food crop fields. For example, during the summer months here on Delmarva, if you live near a large crop fields of corn or soybeans, you might notice the humidity levels and dew points are much higher than the surrounding locations, especially when the sun is out. That's because of evapotranspiration bringing more water vapor to the air nearby from the transpiration of crops nearby.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. And while you're there, be sure to sign our petition calling on the major cable providers to carry TV Delmarva on their platforms so we can provide this kind of local programming to all of Delmarva. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News.